Where's it at? I literally said that I don't think they're coming today. Let's play a blind test. Let's see if you can guess which one is A and which one's B. Just so you guys know, these are the settings that I have set up. So I have the Bogner in here. I have this one switched all the way up. This switch down is at the top, bass in the middle. Mids are kind of up a little bit, trebles up. I make sure that the volume's up pretty high with the volume for the main out. And there's the gain. So here's the Killer Cali. So I'm just using this channel since it's the same thing as the other one. And here's my gain levels. I got one bright up, one bright down. The balance switch up, saturation down because it makes it thicker. And I like the EQ shape up because it just sounds better. And my bass, my mids, treble, volume. So let's see what they sound like. Alright, what's up everybody? Thought I'd put a little bit more into my intro song than I usually would. And yeah, I had a little bit of fun. But yeah, so I went back and forth between the Cali and the Uberschall, which these are two awesome synergy modules that I think are top tier. I would like to try the direct, but since I got the Uberschall and of course I was going to get the Killer Cali, this is what we're going to play with. And man, they are killer modules. I mean, both of them. Comparing them back to back, it was just like, damn. I didn't know you can get this kind of sound out of these little modules, these little preamps. But yeah, this one's gonna be about the best of the best, I think. I don't know of any other high gain stuff that can beat these two. I do only have the Sin 1, so I won't be able to go back and forth with like a Sin 2 and switching back and forth, unfortunately. I know that using the Sin products yields a better sound and what they're supposed to sound like. So that plus a Fryette power station, which is a very neutral power amp. And that one's got KT88s and everything in it. I think I just wanted to jump on the bandwagon a little bit on all these YouTubers. You know, they all kind of did the Killer Cali thing and just came out the same day. It's just like, whoa, dude. But what I wanted to do is, and I haven't seen it yet, was do the Uberschall and the Killer Cali and compare those two together. So let's jam on them, man. Let's I think you guys seen a lot of the videos where the guys just kind of went through all the knobs and you know, all the different types of things they can do. Obviously the Killer Cali is awesome. So I'll just go through and play some of my riffs on it. Just do it DMD style, you know, and let's see what we got. So this is what I have set up for that song. This is how the settings were and everything. So. And that chunk, dude. You know, I've heard around that people say that the bass isn't that, you know, there isn't much bass in this module. I would definitely try to use the little cathode switch in the back to see what would kind of work out better for your setup. But I know with this Fryette, it is pumping, man. I mean, it's not like the bassiest thing in the world, but it's plenty for me, and that's saying a lot. So. So what I'm gonna have to do is I'm gonna have to edit the videos to where I just kind of swap the modules out pretty quick. So I'll do that, and that's not a problem. So we'll go ahead and here's the Uberschall, and just the way it is, how I did it in the demo. So let's do that real quick. And yeah, this one was a little tougher to get out and to put in, which is interesting. So there we go. Uberschall slides in just fine. I do not have the ST1 on at the moment. I'm just doing straight up modules. This is what we were hearing for the demo track that I was doing. I mean, that's sick. Tons of gain on it. You know, it's, you know, I got it up, the pre-EQ is up at the top, which I think is boost 1. And then the boost side is up. And it's pretty neutral as far as the EQ goes there, but the gain's up about like 2 o'clock or so. Whereas the Cali, we have the gain up around about the same spot, but you know, we have the tube rights and all that kind of stuff. And then the violence switch, of course, that's basically a boost that goes in front of it. But both of these freaking, oh man. Tell you what, I'll kind of boost the gain to show you guys how much gain there is on each of these. So you guys can see which one has more gain, you know, on tap. Going all the way up. Let's check the Killer Cali. You know, they sound pretty similar actually. Let's go ahead and boost this all the way up. So I think there's more gain when the bright's all the way up. Let's hear that. Both gains up. Whoa. There you go. The Killer Cali has more gain. I don't know that you ever need that much gain. I think where they both sat before, EQ wise, it was perfect for the gain. It was still super, you know, not super saturated, but it's very metal sounding and stuff. And just to take a look, I like the saturation down, personally. So if I were to bring it up, I think it just tightens it up. So here Here it is. So, you know, when people say like, there's not enough bass in this thing, if you bring the gain up and then just kind of use the switches to kind of cut the gain a little bit, you have the bass there, because you're cooking the preamp tubes and you're getting more tone out of it, you know, when you're cooking them more like that. But, I mean, it's a killer sound, for sure. This one definitely wins in the has more gain, but it's in that territory where it's like unusable. Not to say that's a bad thing, so the possibilities are endless. So we'll go back, it's about right there. But you see how the bass kind of dropped out? Adds it in. That's the thing with the preamp tubes, is that if you just put more gain in it, it just saturates the tone a little bit more. I think that's a plenty enough gain, or bass. Now, I do have my Fryette power station where I can add more depth to it, so I went to 3 o'clock for it. And it's kind of a thing where, like, sure, these modules probably don't have a super wide EQ range, but you usually have like your power station or your whatever your power amp is, and that usually has some kind of controls to thicken it up or add more presence to it. So I've never had that issue, and the Fryette's been a great neutral power amp for me for really any kind of situation, even these preamps and stuff. But yeah, so. And I'll go ahead and show you what it sounds like when it's boosted. So here's the ST1. It's super saturated, but tight at the same time. So if I put that saturation button, I like that. With the saturation down and the EQ all the way up, bring in some mids. That's thick as hell. And so without the violence. See, that's why everybody likes this preamp so much, is because it's got that like plexi sound to it, man. But you turn it into this super gain, high gain monster with these switches, and you don't need like an overdrive at all. So let's turn that ST1 off. That is just a great like Marshall sound. Add some more bass to it and probably drop the middle down a little bit. Bringing some of those ADA riffs back. See, it's just got that like sharp like edge to it. All right, let's go ahead and go over to the Uberschall again and see if we can get that kind of tone out of it. And I'll show you, some of the EQ stuff on there too. And for this Uberschall to have come out when it did, it was way before its time. This module is still, even after, jamming on this killer Cali, which is an absolute killer preamp. But there's a thickness with this Uberschall for sure. Definitely different characters. So let's go ahead and go to the middle section of this little, is it pre-EQ? Sounds like more gain, to tell you the truth, like a bright cap. And down. I got the gain all the way up still, so that's probably not going to do much at all. A lot thicker there. When I had that Uber Ultra on the channel, it definitely reminds me of that, where one setting it just had this like really thick sound to it. Let's turn the boost off. It even changes the EQ a little bit, so let's turn it up a little bit. Volume went down. And that's the kind of boost I think it is. I think it's a solo boost instead of an overdrive in front. And I think the pre-EQ is what's doing that top switch there. So if we go in the top switch now, I can already hear it. Let's turn up the bass. Yeah, that's huge. I mean, that's freaking awesome, dude. And I've never, reviewed this Uberschall on my channel, and it's kind of cool that I could do both of these at the same time. So let's go back to the Killer Cali one more time. All right, let's see if we can get some thick tones like that. Yeah, it's not as, thick as the Uberschall. The Uberschall definitely has a little bit more low end in it, for sure. But this is plenty enough low end. The low end in Uberschall is just a little too much. And I think the Killer Cali is set perfectly with the EQ on it. But it's always nice to be able to do that, to have more low end than you need, because when you put an overdrive, it cuts the low end, so you want to hit it hard whenever you have that overdrive on, and it makes it, it just punches, I guess I'll go ahead and show you the difference in, I got the bright switches in the middle. That is total Marshall. Let's bring up the gain on this. So one thing about this Killer Cali is it is very versatile. You can get the Plexi sound, you can get a Hot Rod and Marshall. Can you get clean? I don't know. Can we? Let's go back. Best you're going to get is edge of break up here, so that's fine. And then the bright switch down for the second one. And then the second or the first bright switch down. Ooh. Yeah, and everybody said it. All the YouTubers said, when the gain is lower, the bright switches, you know, affect the tone much more. Yeah, I get it. I think I've heard it like 5 or 6 times, or. But when you have a down on both of these, it has that like really like plexi sound, where it's just like super hot rodded sounding. Well, there we go. I just wanted to go through these two, and I didn't see any videos out there between the Uberschall and the Killer Cali, and I wanted to give it to you guys because I had both of them. Unfortunately, I didn't have anything where I could just switch between them really quick. So I think when I edit this, it's going to be just fine. I think the Killer Cali is just super versatile. Now, I think the big question is, if you have the Uberschall, should you get the Killer Cali? Yes, absolutely. There's totally a different flavor going on with the Killer Cali. It's kind of like the difference between a boosted Mesa and a 6505. So there's like 2 different flavors. You know, this is like a Marshall, and then you got your, you know, Bogner, you know. And I never knew what a Bogner sound was until I played that Uber Ultra, and then it all came into play. So I really hope you guys liked the video. Like and subscribe, you know, get me out there and all that stuff. And thank you guys for, you know, commenting and watching this stuff. But anyways, DMD out. Oh man, I almost forgot. You know, since you guys are here at the video and watching this stuff, I'll switch between these 2 power amps and show you guys what that sounds like. I do have to like get up and like switch it around and stuff because I don't have a really good way of doing that, but I was gonna leave you guys hanging. All right, we got this guy hooked up right now with the Killer Cali and see what it sounds like. Let's turn the bass back to about halfway, right? And this is in that setting that I had that was like kind of plexi sounding. So here's the Mesa. Sounds like the presence is pretty high. Bring up the bass. Let's go ahead and go into full bore crazy distortion. Bring up the presence. Okay, let's go ahead and let's put this Uberschall in and on. that's interesting. The feel of this power amp with this Bogner Uberschall is a lot better. Like under the hands, it just feels so responsive. And it's punchy. It's not super thick in the low end, but it's super punchy. And let's go all the way up with the bass. Let's go neutral with it and then turn on the SD1. See what that sounds like. SD1 off, thick, and then the boost on the module. I just wanted to show you guys what it sounded like through this Mesa. I will go ahead and go into the Fryette one more time just so you guys can hear the difference. And here's a killer Cali. It's just tighter. Like it just isn't as flubby as the Uberschall, which that sounds great. Add a little more gain to this. Probably some more presence actually, or treble. Some more mids. There you go. All right, I just wanted to do the quick comparison between those two so you guys can hear it. And I have to say the Fryette, in my opinion, is the better power amp. TMD out.